everyone, and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a Scare Music Listener by me. So let's get into it. Scaramouche hated cliches. He hated romance. He hated books that talked about it because it all seemed so unrealistic. He didn't know how romance worked, how love seemed like in real life, because he never truly experienced it. He spent the entirety of his life being used, and he doesn't know anything else but that. So he doesn't have the best example. And the books, they all make it seem like a fairy tale, when to him, love seems like a very painful thing. And that was reflected in their relationship. When he first fell in love with you, he was disgusted with himself, and he honestly felt like he didn't deserve you at all. But love didn't care about that, and he kept falling deeper and deeper until it was too late to get back up. But as you fell in love back with him, and the two of you became partners, you noticed things about Scaramouche that weren't just normal. Things you couldn't simply just pass off as something that was just part of him, part of the personality that would come with dating up to a harbinger. You knew he wasn't going to be automatically good at this, and you knew things were going to be difficult. But still, it did not excuse his behavior or the way he acted sometimes. And you couldn't really believe what was happening to you. Because the more you fell in love, the more you got wrapped up in the grip of Scaramouche's possessiveness, and it was suffocating you in every possible way. You had fallen in love with him, despite his controlling behavior, which was a clear red flag, and now you were going to pay the price. It all started innocently enough. When you had joined and Scaramouche assigned you to his squad, at first you would find him arrogant and insufferable with you. But getting to know him, you saw a softer side that you fell in love with. The softer side that he hid from everyone else, and was starting to develop more for you. That's what made you fall in love. And it wasn't long before Scaramouche's possessiveness started to show with you. Sometimes he would get angry over the smallest of things, and maybe when he spoke to other members of the squad, and he would accuse them of stealing your attention away from him. It kind of felt offensive to you. He was ignoring your whole person, your personality, and the fact that you had agency over every choice that you made. It was annoying at times. He would follow you around, watch your every move, like a hawk hovering over its prey. And sometimes, it would get way out of proportion. You tried to ignore it at first, thinking he just didn't know how to show his love better. He wasn't used to this. Maybe he was scared, insecure even, and you were willing to be patient, to give him all the chances he needed to be with you. And he really tried. But then, Scaramouche began to control every aspect of your life. He would dictate what you wore outside, where you went, when you came, who you talked to. At first, you thought it was just his way of keeping you safe. Maybe he knew better. He was a harbinger after all. And he definitely knew better, being immortal. So maybe he had a reason for all of this. But then, you realized it was getting a little bit too far. It was less about you and your own safety, and it was clear that it was about his own feelings of possessiveness and his need for control. And yet, even with all of that, even then, you couldn't bring yourself to leave him. One day you came back to your quarters to find that some of your belongings were missing. Clothes, books, and other miscellaneous items were gone. You knew who took them, though. Scaramouche had a habit of doing this when he felt like you weren't giving him enough attention. It was his own way of forcing you to seek him out and give him all the attention that he needs. And you did. You always gave in to him, even when you didn't want to. He had a hold on you, and you didn't know just how to break free. It wasn't until Skirmish started to hurt you that you realized just how dangerous his possessiveness had become. Sometimes, when you were kissing, he would leave bruises on your skin as a way of marking you as possession. And even though sometimes it could be seen as romantic, it wasn't okay when it just hurt. He was aggressive, rough, in every possible way, just not the most romantic partner that you've seen. And yet, you justified his actions. You couldn't help it. You were trapped in a cycle, loving him, hating him, wanting to run away, but seeing him in front of you and not knowing where you would want to be other than his arms. It all came to a head one night when Scaramouche went too far. Scaramouche, leave me alone. I just said I'm going to see my family. He had then grabbed you by the shirt, slamming you roughly against the wall, and you teared up. You were trembling, and perhaps this was the first time you were truly scared of him, thinking that he would truly hurt you. You're not going anywhere. You didn't even ask me. Unless you want me to keep you here forever. Scaramouche, please, you're not being yourself. How about you take a break? You take a deep breath and we talk. You say, trembling, and hoping that he just gets a sense of what's going on, that he gets back in his head, because there's no way he's truly saying that. That's not the man you once loved. But he just chuckles darkly, and he kisses you, and before you know it, he's pressing something inside your mouth when he deepens the kiss. And as he smiles at you, whispering something in your ear, the last thing you hear before your eyes close, and the darkness overtakes your vision, is Scaramouche's voice. I love you, and I will keep loving you forever, Wyan. No one, not even you, will take that away from me. He chuckled, carrying you into his arms, and going to his basement. This was definitely going to be interesting, and a lot of fun, too.